your scuba gear on. Let's go swim with the dolphins.
Oh, here they come! Dolphins are perfectly adapted to their environment. They have nothing to do but swim and play all day. They have massive brains. They're incredibly intelligent. If dolphins bought insurance, they'd choose High House.
High House Insurance don't pay to be on comparison websites, so your premiums are better value. Try us and see. Call 606 552. High House, local reliable insurance. High Street, Selsey.
Hi, and welcome once again to Selsey Internet Radio. My name's Keith Barnes, and I'll be guiding you through this week's podcast, in which we have Jean Pratt telling us what's on in and around the village for the coming week. We talk to Liz Watson and Terry Varney from First Responders. Dennis talks to Simon Keane from Good Morning Selsey. And we have our gardening expert in this week. That's Giles Peare. And there'll be a recipe from Keithy's Kitchen. So without further ado, we'll get on with the show. Jean, good morning.
Hello, Keith. Well, Monday, March 23rd, the ladies of the Royal British Legion are meeting at 2:15 in Selsey Town Hall. Now, if you'd like more information, phone Jill Pessel 601426. And on Monday evening, real treat, Selsey Film Club have a very interesting film this evening about the legendary crypto analyst Alan Turing, who led his brilliant team of code-breakers at the top secret government code and cipher school at Bletchley Park. The film is called The Imitation Game and tells of the race against time and breaking of codes during the dark days of World War II. Now, it starts at 7:30 in the town hall. Tickets are £5 and you can buy them at the door or get them from the town hall. On Tuesday the 24th, the VIPs, that's the Selsey Visually Impaired Club, meet at Hanover Lounge 2 till 4 p.m. Transport is door to door for all meetings and outings. Now, if you need help to get there, the Selsey Venture Bus can be got through 605 115. Now, if you know someone who has problems with their sight, could you please tell them about the club? For further details, contact Judy Smith 606 995 or Jill Erickson 601 628. There is on Wednesday the 25th a dementia awareness session at Selsey Library from 10:30 till 12 noon. Now, this would be a chance to find out more about this condition and the support that is available. The session is given by people from the Memory Assessment Service and Living with Dementia teams. So if you need more information, call the Alzheimer Society Sussex helpline on 01403 213 017, or the library can give you information 602 096. On Wednesday the 25th of March, Carpet Bowls meet at Medbury School Lane. They meet Wednesday and Thursday evenings at 7 or Sundays 9:30 and 3 p.m. Non-members welcome. Now, if you'd like more information about that, call Sylvia Cox 681 663 or Annette Isket 606 227. On Thursday the 26th of March, the Men's Trefoil Group meet at the Selsey Centre at 7:15. And this is a members' evening organised by Joan and Julie. New members are always welcome, and find out more, contact Mary Collins 602 849. There's also a whist drive on Thursday at the Selsey Club, which starts at 7:30, and that's at Cox's Road. And on Friday, the Derby and Joan Club meet at St Peter's Church Hall 2 till 4. Why not go along and have a cup of tea and a game of bingo? Now, if you'd like more information, call Jill Evenden 604 187. Friday afternoon, 27th of March, the University of the Third Age have Hilary Sterling, who is a very innovative local potter, and she will be talking about many things that have influenced and inspired her work. And their meeting starts at 2:30 in the Selsey Centre. And again, if you want more information, you'll have to go to their website, which is www.selseyu3a.org.uk. Saturday the 28th of March, the Venture Club, adjacent to the Co-op, have their garage sale, 9 till 12. And also the Selsey Scouts charity shop is open in School Lane from 10 till 12. On Sunday the 29th of March, tabletop sale at the Selsey Centre from 9 to 12:30. And that's all for this week. Back to Keith.
Thank you for that, Jean, as always. Plenty there for us to be going around and having a look at it. And we'll see you again next week, hopefully.
Yes,
Fingers
indeed.
crossed.
For your sin.
Thanks, Jean. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
My next guests in the studio today are Liz Watson and Terry Varney from Selsey First Responders. Morning.
Good morning. Morning.
Now, we spoke to Liz, maybe a couple of months back now, when things were looking quite dire for the Selsey First Responders, but one of their cars had been written off by a visitor and they were in quite dire financial straits. But I think we've got some better news this morning because, from what I understand, there's been some fundraising going on. Liz has baked 1 million cakes and now they've got some good news for us. So let's hear what they've got to say. Liz, now I believe since we last met, you've been working night and day, baking cakes and making cream teas and things like that, and generally raising quite a bit of money for Selsey First Responders. Now I know that you had a Valentine's Day cream tea down at the Selsey Centre. Can you tell us now how much that raised?
It was absolutely fantastic. We raised £1,530.
Very nice too.
And all we spent out was the renting of one hall. The council gave us the other hall free, and we just paid for the one £25.50, and that was our only expenditure. Everybody else gave free.
I have to say, as you know, I went and I was amazed at the turnout, because when I turned up prior to the opening, it was about sort of 1:30, and I thought, well, they put a lot of seats out there. I'd like to see them get that many people in. And I think there was probably seating then for about 150. And I do know by 3 o'clock, after it had been open in half an hour or whatever, you had to virtually double the seating, because there was so many people that were stood around the walls. There was people getting more chairs out, more tables out. And I was absolutely amazed at the turnout. It was fabulous. It really was.
Once again, Selsey people really, really responded to what was a dire situation. And I think everybody felt that it was so important that we got that message over, that we did want to keep the responders in Selsey for them.
Absolutely. I mean, I think people are becoming more aware now that Selsey First Responders are there, because I don't think a lot of people understood that they were there before, and what they do, and the fact, certainly most people I've spoken to weren't aware of the fact that Selsey First Responders, although they turn up in ambulance type vehicles, and I say that to refer to the colour of the cars, the way they're marked up and stuff, and they turn up with a little bag of tricks, but they're not funded by the NHS at all. They receive their training from the NHS, so nobody needs to worry about whether they're fully trained or well trained. They're extremely well trained and know what they're doing. But they're trained by the NHS. Everything else that is paid for out of charitable donation. And obviously the guys that turn out and come and save your life for you, and save lives they do, make no mistake about that. These guys that turn out, they're not paid, they're purely volunteers, so is everybody else involved. And I think now that people are becoming more aware of that, and we see a few more ventures to raise money for Selsey First Responders, I can see that you're definitely going to get a bigger response each time.
They do supply the medical equipment, which they have in the bag.
Yeah, the medical bag and the
That's
defibs and stuff like that. But other than that, it's all down to voluntary contributions. Also the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that these guys do a full-time job as well. So this is their own spare time that they're giving up to provide this kind of service. They're also they do update training as well. So every year they have to go to training as well. So it's not only responding. They physically have to go and retrain or get the new techniques or whatever it is, etc. So there's a lot of time that they dedicate.
Oh, absolutely.
looking after the community.
Anybody can, anybody that has anything to do with the medical profession has to be dedicated, because they're not always the best jobs in the world to do, and sometimes you've got to be quite strong mentally to cope with it as well. So I don't think anybody would doubt the fact that they're doing an extremely worthwhile job. I know I don't doubt it, because I've had them turn out to me. When you think you're having a heart attack, you can't wait to see somebody like that turn up within a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, literally. I know that when they came out to me, my wife was still on the phone when they knocked on the door. So, I don't think anybody can doubt their
It's amazing when you go around Selsey, when you talk to people, that virtually everybody you talk to, it's touched someone that they know or within their family, etc. And it's then you realise what an effect this service has on the community.
Now that people are becoming aware that it's not funded by the NHS, I could see where people thought it would be, because I thought it was.
Well, it's a very professional service. That's why.
I don't mean that people should think it was because I thought it was, because I'm not that smart. But people like me that saw them turn out, never entered my head that they weren't part of the NHS. And I said as much to Liz when we were first talking about it. Well, surely the NHS would supply them with another car. Only to find out, of course, that no, they won't.
Well, that's a lovely compliment, because that shows how professional they are and how professional they operate.
Absolutely. And for anybody that's worried about that side of it, you needn't worry.
We had a number of people supporting us in the Cream Tea event, which we need to mention, I think. The reason why we had so many people, and at one stage they were just queuing out the door and had problems getting them all in. But there's a number of companies. Obviously, Selsey Internet Radio were supporting us with publicity about the event, etc. We had High House Insurance that had a big influence on the event itself and supporting us. We had Spirit FM that were running ads, etc., which was unbelievable. And that kept, obviously, the event that week in everybody's mind, etc. And we had Star Advertising, Richard at Star Advertising, we did the banners and stuff for us, and we got them out, which was absolutely wonderful. When you consider how much time we had to put this event on, it was it blew me away. I was standing there thinking, this is unbelievable. Within a month, we put this event on, and it's incredible.
I have to say, I couldn't believe how many people came through the door. It was incredible.
And of course, yourself, Keith, you were there serenading us as well.
I was counting the people.
It was so good, and everybody gave their time on the event, because we had 18 people volunteer to help, and we needed every one of those. It was just absolutely amazing. We got the most terrific response. And afterwards, people have said, what can we do to help you now? They want to know if they can do something, which we are working on now, all different ideas. Somebody came up this week with a bridge evening. We're not going to raise tremendous money, but those people out there are giving their time again, and their houses and everything else. They're there for us in Selsey to help our first responders, who are so fantastic. They really are fantastic people to give their time.
Absolutely. I don't think you'll get any arguments from anybody with regards to that, Liz. Now, there's been a couple of fundraising events, the Cream Tea and the Cabaret Night. For those of you that can't see us because we're not on telly, Liz and Terry have just been presented with a cheque for £500 on behalf of Bobby Barnes, Jonathan Leahy and Emma Vickers from Small Talk, from Hannah Watkin and from Jill Farndon.
And of course not forgetting the irrepressible Matt Velmahoff,
who were the acts that were on the Cabaret Night and gave their services free of charge to raise money for local charities. Now, it wasn't only the first responders, we also raised £500 for St Wilfrid's Hospice, £500 for first responders, of course, and £110 for Macmillan. So, although it didn't all go to first responders, I think it was still of some value. So on behalf of the acts that took part, I would like to say thank you to everybody for turning up.
Amazing. Absolutely. The most fantastic evening. It not only did you raise money, the feeling there was absolutely amazing. People came up to me and said, you're Liz? And I said yes. And they said they'd been out to us and they told me different times and different things that had actually happened. They were in tears and they said without them, my husband or somebody wouldn't be here, which was really lovely.
No, absolutely.
That was at the event, the musical
event. If only all
event.
audiences were as warm as that one, Liz. My job would be a lot easier, I have to say. Now, so you've raised a few bob over the past couple of months, and the bank balance is looking a little bit healthier, hopefully.
Yeah, a lot healthier.
How close are you to getting a new car?
We're still sort of investigating that, and our initial approach was let's get some funds in the bank, because obviously what we want to do is secure the service. But there are other things that we need to push forward on. We're talking to a number of organisations about sponsoring cars. Can't mention them at the moment, I'm afraid, but that's looking very good. So we would hope, by the summer, that we would have some movement on that. Can I just go back to the cream tea event? Because what we haven't mentioned is that we had a tombola there, and we had raffles.
Which I have to say, there was a great big queue.
Yes.
When I came in at 20 past, I couldn't get any tickets for the tombola because the queue was so long.
Yeah, that was very successful. When she says it cost us like £25.50, that was our cost. What people need to take on board is that the whole event was financed by the Selsey community, and that wasn't just the business community. That was normal guy in the street. So all the tombola was donated, all the gifts, etc., all the prizes.
And there was some of them.
And there was well over 100, and all the raffle prizes were donated as well. And there was quite a few of those as well.
And the shops.
And all the food was bought.
Yeah, people donated the money.
People donated the money for the food and the drinks, etc., etc.
Well, it's a wonderful community effort, totally.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely lovely. And when I've been back over the last couple of weeks and said to people how much we've raised, and they've come and said to me, that's lovely, don't forget us.
Yeah, well, so the money's been pouring in. I just noticed this now when you went to tuck the cheque into the book that there was another cheque in there, so I'm assuming that you've received money from other sources.
Yeah, this week we received another £200 cheque from the Selsey Fireworks.
Absolutely brilliant.
I didn't even know that was coming. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well done to Selsey Fireworks. It really is a great big pat on the back for everybody, for the whole community in Selsey, to all of a sudden realise that there was something they didn't know and respond as well as they've done in what has been a short period of time. It's only been a few weeks since the first idea was mooted about the cream tea, and you had a month to sort it out, and unbelievable response to that. And now I guess people are knocking on your door saying, can I give you money?
Yeah, but I mean, people pull Liz up and just give her cash.
Yeah,
yeah. They tell you we
so
couldn't get there, so there's
we
my
couldn't come. But here you are, and that's happened so many times. Absolutely amazing, because they don't have to, do they? Because I don't know who was there. You couldn't see. Right. There were so many there.
You'd have a job to remember all the faces that were there at that cream tea. That's for sure.
Well, people are now saying when you have the next one, don't forget to let us know, because we all enjoyed it so much.
Now, I'm assuming that there are other fundraising events in the pipeline, and that you've not made enough money to sit back for the next 10 years now.
We're going to hopefully have a barn dance with a hog roast. We want to include younger people, and so that they realise that we are there again. They're at work. A lot of these people have very limited time because they are at work. But we are trying to get them involved some way, and the youngsters as well.
Yeah.
We feel that the teenagers and everybody, because you could have an accident whatever age you are.
Oh, absolutely.
Or have some major illness and not be able to get the response because they're so busy on the ambulance, but the others will be there to help you.
So also what we're trying to do is trying to raise, keep the profile high, because it's high at the moment. So we're trying to make sure we get involved in community events. So we booked in for Lifeboat Day, so we'll be there, and we booked in for the Smugglers Day,
That's right.
Always get that wrong.
That's August
we call it Pirates Day.
August the 30th.
Yes.
I hasten to add, because it was down for May the 24th. It's now going to be August the 30th, I believe. But we'll come back to that.
It's busy August. So what we're aiming to do then is just to keep the first responders in the consciousness of the community, etc. And so we want to make sure that the first responders are seen as part of the community. And obviously with the support that Selsey gives, that's brilliant.
I think the first indications that I've seen are that people in Selsey are more than happy to support Selsey First Responders, and may they continue to do so. Well, thanks Terry, and thanks Liz for coming in and filling us in.
Well, thank you for having us. It helped in the very beginning. It gave me heart when you asked me to actually come on your radio the first time, and I realised that you give your time, and it's fantastic.
Well,
really
between
good.
us, let's hope we can keep things going as they should be.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thanks now. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Bye.
That was Terry Varney and Liz Watson there from Selsey First Responders. I wish them well with the fundraising, because I know how difficult it is for local charities around here to raise money. There are quite a few charities, and everybody gets asked regularly to support them, and it's not always easy to do. So I do wish them well, and I'm sure from what I've seen up to yet, the response to the Selsey First Responders, that everybody in the village appreciates their worth. Well, it's that time again. Welcome back to Keithy's Kitchen. Now we've got a really tasty recipe for you today. Mince and pea curry. And this is one of my real favourites. The wife cooks this for me regularly. Well, when she wants to spend some money on something anyway. And this is one for the slow cooker. So I hope you've got a slow cooker, otherwise, well, I don't know what you do. And this is what we need. 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil, 1 large onion finely chopped, 3 garlic cloves crushed, 1 teaspoon of finely grated fresh ginger, 2 fresh green chilies de-seeded and thinly sliced, and remember, don't touch your eyes after you've been messing about and cutting them, 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds, 4 tablespoonfuls of medium curry paste, 800 grams of minced beef, a 400 gram tin of chopped tomatoes, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 4 tablespoons of tomato puree, 4 tablespoons of coconut cream, 250 grams of frozen peas, salt and freshly ground black pepper, 3 tablespoons of chopped fresh coriander leaves, and steamed basmati rice to serve with. And this is what we do. We heat the sunflower oil in a large heavy base saucepan and add the onion. Cook over a low heat for 15 minutes until softened and just turning lightly golden. Add the garlic, ginger, chilies, cumin seeds and curry paste and stir fry over high heat for 1 to 2 minutes. Add the minced beef and stir fry for 3 to 4 minutes until the meat is browned. Then stir in the tinned tomatoes, the sugar, tomato puree and 100 ml of cold water and bring back to the boil. Transfer to the slow cooker, season, cover with a lid and cook on high for 5 hours. Stir in the coconut cream and peas 1 hour before the end of the cooking time and sprinkle with chopped coriander and serve with steamed basmati rice. How simple is that? Even I could do it. And it really is a tasty dish. Right, well that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed that one. See you again soon. Bye. We go across to our other studio now, where we find Dennis Cowan talking to Simon Keane from Good Morning Selsey.
Today we have in the studio Simon Keane of Time Bank and Good Morning Selsey. So, hello Simon, and can you tell us who runs it?
Good morning. Yes, Good Morning Selsey is run really by volunteers from Selsey Time Bank. It became apparent some years ago that Selsey has a particular problem with loneliness. Because it's a holiday seaside place, people tend to retire here with their partners because they used to come here for family holidays. The problem is, of course, one of the partners or spouses die and the other one is left on their own very lonely. And the problem is that they're very often a long way from where they used to live, they're a long way from their family, they're a long way from their friends, and as such they are very lonely. They can be, they're very isolated from the community. And so having recognised that there was a particular problem in Selsey, the Time Bank put up a bid to start an organisation called Selsey Community Watch. And that is there really to alleviate loneliness in the community. Good Morning Selsey was an initiative which started up last July, and it involves making phone calls to people on a daily basis, if they would like it on a daily basis, simply to offer the opportunity for a chat and a friendly voice on the other end of the telephone every day.
And that's you?
That's me and about 7 or 8 other people who volunteer to make the calls on a daily basis.
Quite a little game.
It is, it's growing. It started off in a minor sort of way. We had perhaps only 3 or 4 phone calls initially in August of last year, but we're now up to tens of phone calls each day, and it's proving to be a very popular service. Not only because it alleviates the boredom of being in the house all day, which some people have to put up with, but also it offers an opportunity if there is a problem has arisen for somebody to do something about it. And so Good Morning Selsey not only makes phone calls, chatty, friendly phone calls, but it also can, if there is a problem of any kind, alert whoever needs to be alerted that there is a problem that needs to be sorted out.
And where does it run from?
It's run from the Selsey Information Exchange offices in High Street in Penny Lane.
Oh, yeah.
And it operates using their telephone system. It's a very simple idea, and it works very simply, and it's proving very successful. It's also proving a gateway to involving people in Sunday afternoon teas and various other activities that go on in Selsey. It can promote those, it can improve the attendance at those by inviting people who are involved with Good Morning Selsey to get involved in other activities which they might enjoy. A lot of people are trapped in their houses, yes.
Yeah.
They're vulnerable in lots of ways. They might, for medical reasons, not be able to get out very easily. And they do become very socially isolated. They rely upon the television for their entertainment. And it's nice just to offer them something other than the television.
Yeah, and what time does it start, this? Or you start? What time do you start?
The calls are usually made in the morning between 10 and midday. We can make calls at other times of the day if there's a particular need for it. But generally speaking, it's between 10 in the morning and midday. Most of the calls are made to people who are vulnerable in some way. A lot of them are partially sighted. So they have got particular problems which they need a lot of help with sometimes. And Good Morning Selsey are able to offer that support if it becomes apparent during the phone calls that they make every day that somebody has got a particular problem, that they need something done, they need a light bulb changed.
Well, you do that.
We can
facilitate.
That's not part of the Good Morning Selsey service, but it's something that Selsey Time Bank can do and does do. And minor problems like that we can resolve for people very easily, and it takes a great deal of worry away from the individuals who are involved.
In a ballpark figure, how many volunteers have you got?
We're using about 7 or 8 on a regular basis at the moment just to run Good Morning Selsey. But there are other people within Selsey Time Bank and within Selsey Community Watch that we can call upon if we need to go beyond the service offered by Good Morning Selsey.
I've got here, how much does it cost to receive a call?
It costs nothing at all.
It costs nothing. So
it doesn't. There was an intention originally to start charging at some point for it, but the service is very low cost to operate, and at the moment we are, at least for the time being, providing it as a free service.
And it's for Selsey only, is it? Or
it is only for Selsey, yes.
Do you get them sort of creeping in from anywhere else?
We have had requests from Bognor, I think.
Lovely Bognor.
But no, we operate solely within Selsey.
Yeah.
We're operating under the banner of Selsey Community Watch.
Let's have contact details for those people listening to the show.
Yes, if anybody's interested in receiving a daily telephone call from Good Morning Selsey, or if anybody knows of anybody who might benefit from such telephone calls, then all they have to do is to contact the 6th office, the Selsey Information Exchange office in the town, either by knocking on their door when they're open, or on the telephone on number 201616. That will get hold of somebody who can take a message and relay it to Good Morning Selsey.
Right, thank you, Simon, for coming into the studio. It's been very interesting.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for that, Dennis. It never fails to amaze me what a wonderful caring community we have around Selsey. What a nice place to live. We go across now to our final guest for the week,
our dear friend, gardener extraordinaire, international broadcaster and general good chap, Giles Peare. Giles.
Hello there, how are you keeping? All right?
Oh, not too bad at all,
yes,
thank you.
Same here, getting by.
Yes, indeed. I think we've got over most of the germs now.
I think they're on the way out, hopefully now. Hopefully. Yeah, I hope so. And round about now on the outside, the soil's beginning to warm up a bit now at last, which is good. So everything in the, not just the garden, in the countryside in general, the growth is getting a bit quicker everywhere now. I would say if you're out in the countryside, it's very good to look out for the March hares because they're doing their dancing around about this time, as they do. The biggest hares, in case I'm sure you all like to know this, come from Ireland actually. They've got the Irish hare, which is the biggest hare apparently.
Yeah, I'm never sure if you're going to come out with a punchline in a minute, Charles.
No, it's just.
Or if you're stating fact.
It is fact, and it's a lot bigger than any of the hares over here, but they're peculiar to Ireland. Funny enough, I don't know why, but they just are. Anyway, that's just a sidetrack here. Also, of course, the lambs are out and about now, prancing and
very much so. Yeah,
enjoying their short lives as the best they do, which is nice to see at the minute.
Yeah,
when we're out and about driving around. The poplar catkins are coming out now. They're in getting quite large. The catkins are now, and they're very good because the first of the bees and butterflies will be using them now for a bit of, pollen.
Yep.
In the garden at this time of year, it's a good idea for people who've got hostas to dig them out now and split them up, split them into making sure there are shoots obviously on each bit, and then replanting the main ones wherever they want, and then there'll be a few excess ones which they can divide and put out in other places.
Snails or slugs seem to love.
Oh, they love hostas. They do. Yeah. Spread plenty of soot around them. That helps a lot to keep them away. Actually,
I shall pass that on to my gardener.
Yeah, definitely. Does help quite a bit actually. And then the other thing to do now is anyone who's got any indoor cacti, they should be repotted now and given a fresh cacti compost, and maybe a larger pot or whatever they're in might be to size them up a bit. And also anyone who's got any window boxes or containers with any winter flowering pansies and violas there are still around, deadhead them now quite a bit, and that'll prolong them until keep them going until the next lot of baskets, the spring ones, come in. A few little tips at the minute. If sowing seeds, which a lot of us are doing now, if they're a bit too small to handle, difficult to handle, shall we say, get a damp matchstick.
Oh, right.
And you can pick them up on that and do it that way, which makes it a lot easier. And compost heaps need to be regularly turned over now, at least once a week to get them moving, get them going. Another little tip is if you get any breaking glass pane or anything, if it's a large size of glass, don't throw it away because it can come useful for putting on seed boxes.
Oh, right,
when you want to have a glass top on them. So don't necessarily throw away broken glass, any decent sized broken glass.
Just hang on to it and use
it. Get the linseed oil now and start putting it on all the tools ready for the coming year. Give them all a good coating of linseed oil. It'll do them a lot of good. And the other little thing I'd like to just say on a more jovial note is if you've been out eating, if you've been eating curry or you've been eating garlic, anything with garlic in, get a sprig of parsley and chew it, and that will get rid of, and it means if you're with a partner or something, you won't be smelling quite so bad. If you want to
either that or don't eat the parsley and get rid of the partner.
If you want to get a little bit more intimate. Anyway, yes, sprig of parsley does the work. So on that lighter note, we'll bow out for this week, I think.
Thank you very much, Charles. See you again soon. Bye.
Yeah.
And sadly, that's it for this week. I'd like to say a great big thank you to our contributors, to Jean Pratt for What's On, to Terry Varney and Liz Watson for popping in and having a chat about Selsey First Responders and how they're getting on. Also to Simon Keane for telling us all about Good Morning Selsey and Selsey Time Bank. And of course to our old friend there, Giles Peare. Well, from me, Keith Barnes, and from the rest of the production team, which is John Fletcher, who's responsible for production planning and for editing, and to Dennis Cowan, who's responsible for everything sound and some things unsound, and of course to yourselves for joining us. Thank you very much. See you again soon.